All right, let's get back into how this all works out here. We're getting into rainfall here in the forecast that's moving through the area right now, and it kind of kicks out going towards Madison. And in fact, that's going to be there within the next, say, 15 minutes or so now to finish out their day. We're also seeing skies clearing out gradually from Rice Lake all the way down to Eau Claire, get to Black River Falls as well. La Crosse and Winona are in that as well, gradually opening up the skies. Take it back to the west coast. Now, this system has been dubbed the system that may bring at least a whole month of rainfall within a couple of days. And so we're keeping an eye on how big this system is. And I'm showing you this why, because it's going to be heading our way eventually as it crosses the states. In fact, you get back down here to the eastern Pacific, holding on to still more moisture working in the forecast. You also have showers coming up by the Baja Peninsula and then continuing on with this big batch. And you already see, if you follow, this moisture starting to kick up and go all the way back into the Four Corners region, and that's going to start heading our way as well. We take a look back into the southeast. We're seeing more moisture that's going to continue to pick up along the Florida seaboard there, along the Florida Panhandle, and then right back up into areas along the eastern seaboard because of this. As this system, Jerry, starts to work its way in, turning into a hurricane eventually, possibly as a tropical storm eventually, and then finishing out going into just far away from the coast, but enough to bring in some rip currents possibly. As far as Eau Claire is concerned, you've got maybe a ninth of nine hundredths of an inch of rainfall, limited amounts for Ladysmith, La Crosse 200th of an inch, Marshfield 400ths of an inch, dry conditions for Prairie du Chien, and then back over to what I wanted to show you before, about a hundredth of an inch or so from Medora, Sparta about 500ths of an inch, Black River Falls almost 2/10ths of an inch there, and get back into Neilsville nearly a 1/10 of an inch, and Osseo a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. So far we've got the rainfall here that's moving out of the region, and we also have the winds that are going to be picking up. It's a little breezy out there right now, but we're also going to be seeing gusts really begin to pick up by the noon hour and finishing out as we go right back into the evening commute. The zones are going to show you here getting into the 70s as well as portions of the 60s in the forecast today. So seasonal average temperatures on the milder side of things, getting right back into La Crosse, 70 degrees for you. Osseo holding up about 67 degrees. You finish out by Eau Claire, you're holding on to middle 60s in the forecast, low 60s up to the north by Ladysmith. Then that rainfall kicks out, as I've told you before, clearing skies behind that. That continues out. We see that drying skies out throughout the day, all the way to the 4 o'clock hour, widespread 60s and some 70s mixed in the forecast. Then we get into the 8 o'clock hour. Winds are subsiding, the gusty winds at least, but they'll turn from the southwest to the northwest, and we'll get some cooler air back in the forecast. As you notice, the temperatures already in the 30s by the time we get in the 1 o'clock hour in the forecast there, and then 40s and 30s to return back to everybody else. So we may see some frost coming back in for Saturday. Also, clouds start to work into the forecast as well by the 11 o'clock hour in the morning, and eventually as we get to the noon hour, things begin to gradually clear. We'll hold on to highs for Saturday with 60s widespread, about 68 for La Crosse, 67 for Eau Claire, and then by Sunday, the lows, as I mentioned before, will be in the 50s, getting into more 60s and 70s once again for the afternoon going into your Saturday. Now, holding on into how this all plays out. I said today and your Sunday. Holding on to nighttime rainfall for Sunday going into your Monday with more showers to contend with. Drier on Tuesday and cooler down to lower 60s. Still holding on to seasonal average temperatures though right into Wednesday and Thursday with a few more showers on the way. That's your forecast. Back to you.